We actually teach scuba diving lessons, so I sort of grew up into it. My parents started it back in the 80s, and my sister and myself kind of run it now while our parents are still greatly involved. We actually do just as many classes and students in the winter time as we do in the summer. You basically, to actually get certified, you have to do a weekend in the pool and a weekend in the ocean. So we teach how to do everything in the pool first, and then you go out, you feel comfortable, then you go out into the ocean, you perform it on your own for the instructor, and then he'll dub you scuba certified.
And when did you get certified?
I got certified when I was 11 years old, and back then, like, the minimum age was 12. So.
Tell me a little about the basic equipment needed to scuba dive.
Sure. So in the beginning, what everyone kind of gets is your own, what we call your personal gear. Your personal gear is that's kind of like just fitted to you. One of the first places we always start when everyone's getting into this sport is you're getting into it to see cool things. So a mast to let you see underwater is our most important part. So our wall of fins, this is where we usually go next when we're fitting up our new students, because we're getting into the water and we need a fin to be able to propel us well through the water. Inside the fins for diving, we wear boots, because when we go to walk into the water, there's all rocks, coral, whatever have you, and we do have a tank and weights on our back, which adds extra weight. So you can't really tiptoe as good along those rocks as you might when you normally go to the beach. So we wear boots to protect our feet, to be able to walk along to the rocks, to get into the water, and then put our fins on in the water. All the major gear, like the tank and the BCD and the regulator and the wetsuit, we do provide as rental as part of our class fees. It just has the tank, which holds the air, the BC, or buoyancy compensator. This will actually hold the tank on your back as well as inflate and deflate while you're in the water. And then you'll have a regulator. The regulator is what gives the air from the tank. You would just simply put it into your mouth, and this one actually has a nice adjustable dial that you can control how good it breathes. A common misconception is that it's hard to breathe underwater, but it's actually just like breathing on air. It's effortless.
What are some of the safety tips you have for diving?
So basically, a main safety tip of diving is, one, always dive with a buddy. So that's what a lot of our classes and skills and such are, is to have a buddy with you, have sort of someone else that, just in case someone goes wrong, you've got someone there to back you up and make sure everything's okay. And does problems happen often? No, they don't. We can go in any water temperature. A lot of the wetsuits that are thin like this, they're like rash guards, these won't give you much warmth, but they will give you sun protection. It does get to be really cold, we move to what's called a dry suit. You'll be sealed inside the bag, and you'll be sealed in your wrists and neck, and you will stay dry. So the guys that are diving under the ice and in the winter time will use things like the dry suits to keep themselves safe for that environment that they might be diving. Several huge changes in technology in diving over the past few years. The biggest change came about 15 years ago, was when dive computers just became a necessity. Years ago we used to use dive tables, which we actually calculated by knowing how deep we were going to go on an actual table by hand. And nowadays we just use computers. So this actual computer will tell us how deep we are, how much air we have left, how long we can stay.
How many divers did you say you've been able to certify?
So we certify through the shop here about 100 a year. So wow. About 100 a year comes through the shop. So in my existence, we've probably done over almost 2,000 divers have come through the store. So since I started here, so we've made a lot of divers in the state of Connecticut, and we always joke that our goal is to make the whole world scuba certified.